Today, we're diving deep into an epic origin story. We're talking about a story with an unconventional God, his perfect but totally puzzled angels, and the flawed children that he loved more than anything. It is a cosmic drama that plays out over eons, and it all boils down to one central question about the nature of divinity itself.
So, let's kick things off with a question posed by the Creator himself. Is there anything higher than sincere love? This one question, you'll see, is going to echo through our entire story. It completely sets the stage for a cosmic drama of love, jealousy, and just immense sacrifice.
Alright, so, in the beginning, there was only the Creator, Keliel. And from his will, he brings forth the universe, the incredible celestial city of Rihanna, and his very first children, the angels.
Now, these weren't just any beings. They were perfect, majestic, living right there in the presence of God. But they were completely baffled by him. See, he wasn't some distant, stoic emperor on a throne. Nope. He joked with them, he sang, he played, and for a lot of these angels, this behavior just seemed way too ordinary, Too undignified for a supreme being. They were expecting all this elegance and majesty, and instead, they got a friend.
And then, as if that wasn't weird enough for them, the Creator does something that just blows their minds. He leaves his magnificent throne totally empty. He personally goes down into this new universe he just spun into existence, gets his hands dirty, and from the soil of a brand new world, he crafts another kind of child. Humanity.
And this is where you can really see the split, right? For the angels, what they saw was a king abandoning his glorious throne to go sit on a dirty rock. But for humanity, it was a father coming down to sit with them by the campfire. This one simple difference in perception, well, that's the seed from which all the conflict to come is going to grow.
So all that confusion, that feeling that the Creator was, devaluing his own divinity, it didn't just go away. It festered among the angels, and it led to a massive split in the heavens, kicking off with a rebellion led by one of the greatest archangels of all.
And we are not talking about a small protest here. We are talking about 10 billion angels, led by the archangel Ishar, who is also known as the Cedric. They literally marched on the Creator's throne, demanding the kind of majestic, awe-inspiring divinity they felt Keliel was just throwing away with all his humility.
But Keliel didn't meet them with an army. Oh no, he met them with a lesson. He completely shattered their idea of power by showing them what true infinity looked like. He showed them universes within universes, life forms beyond their wildest comprehension, all of time, past, present, future, laid out all at once. They saw themselves not as mighty archangels, but as less than a grain of sand in a cosmic ocean, just utterly dwarfed by the real scale of creation.
So with that powerful, mind-bending message echoing in their heads, the rebels were cast out. But here's the thing. Their punishment wasn't some fiery pit of eternal torture. It was an empty void, a prison of pure meaninglessness, forcing them to just sit and think about the vast, vast difference between their ambition and true divinity.
Meanwhile, back in the heavens, not every angel who was confused chose rebellion. The ones who remained, led by Istari and Elphanil, they came forward and confessed their own doubts. But instead of demanding power, they asked for understanding. They actually requested to go to Earth, to live among humanity, and to learn firsthand about this love that just puzzled them so much. Keliel said yes, but the price was incredibly steep. They would become mortal, their wings would literally turn to dust, and they would be forever bound to the world they were trying to understand.
So, as these former angels, who were now called the Nilin, began their new mortal lives, humanity was pretty much left to its own devices. And with their free will, they would eventually make a choice that had absolutely devastating cosmic consequences. 10,000 years passed. Humanity grew. They flourished. But then, it happened. Over something so simple, so petty, a plot of land. A man named Mara killed his brother, Iftar. It was the first murder. The first sin.
And the Creator's voice just thundered across the whole world, not with rage, but with this deep, profound disappointment. As punishment, he scattered humanity across the globe, scrambled their languages, and basically set their progress as a civilization back by thousands of years.
Okay, so this point is absolutely crucial to get. That first sin,
It wasn't just a moral tragedy, it was a physical event. It sent a shockwave through reality, and it literally tore a hole in the fabric separating the physical universe from that void, the very same void where the Cedric and his followers had been imprisoned. And that tear in reality, that little crack in the universe, that was the opening the Fallen had been waiting for eons. After all that time in the void, their prison was breached, and it unleashed an apocalyptic war for the very soul of the mortal world.
The fallout was just catastrophic. For 100,000 years, a cosmic guardian fought tooth and nail to hold the demons back at this gate between worlds. But eventually, he fell. And that allowed the Cedric and 3 billion of his followers to just pour into the physical universe. And their number one destination? You guessed it, Earth.
So the only line of defense left was the Nyland, the very same angels who had given up their power just to understand love. And in this final desperate battle, their wings were miraculously restored. And there, over the eye of the Sahara, they fought to defend their new home. At the absolute climax of the battle, the Nilin leader, Elfanil, gives one final command before he makes the ultimate sacrifice. He unleashes an act of power so absolute that it doesn't just kill the Cedric, it completely erases his very existence from the fabric of reality, locking his essence away. Forever.
The war was won, but the cost was just immense. It left behind a broken world of scattered humans. The heroic Nylon were now fading into myth, and the last of the demons were hiding in the shadows. And it was into this broken world that the Creator delivered his final, ultimate answer to the angels' confusion. He didn't just tell them about his love for flawed mortal beings. He decided he was going to become one himself, born into the very world he had created.
As a mortal man, he lived a life of truly radical teachings. He spoke of this divine unity, claiming, "I am in him and he is in me." Now think about that. This was the ultimate undignified act, completely erasing the boundary between creator and creation. To the established powers, this was pure, unforgivable heresy.
And so, inevitably, he was betrayed, accused of blasphemy, and publicly executed. His death, it was the ultimate expression of that undignified love that started this whole thing. The creator of infinite universes allowing his own imperfect children to destroy his mortal form, all as the final, undeniable proof of his love.
So where did this ultimate sacrifice leave the world? Well, it created a fractured but somehow enduring legacy. A world that was now forever shaped by eons of divine love and cosmic war.
The world that emerged is this complex, messy tapestry. You've got humans, who are now the dominant species, but they're basically suffering from cosmic amnesia, totally unaware of their origins. The heroic Nilon are now a fading people, their sacrifice turning them into little more than myth. And then you've got these cursed lineages, like the Daharians, living in the shadows, along with the scattered, leaderless remnants of that demonic rebellion. Every single race is a living, breathing echo of this cosmic history. So this whole epic saga really leaves us wrestling with one huge, lingering question, doesn't it? In a universe where divine love is so powerful and so complex that it takes a heavenly rebellion, a mortal fall, and a divine sacrifice just for it to be understood, what does that say about the very nature of creation itself? And maybe more importantly, is a love that requires suffering to be understood truly perfect? That's definitely something to chew on.